everyone. Welcome back to another segment of Sherry's Metaphysical Corner. I'm Sherry, and today's topic is on the chakra centers. I have new people following this work daily, so periodically I like to do repeats and go over a subject that I may have talked about in the past already. So just bear with me while I go through this. So if you've heard this, that's okay. I keep my work very simplistic and easy to follow. So as we begin today, here's a few posters with me that I'm going to show you to help you come into a little bit more understanding for all of you that are new, that have never seen this before, as to what it is that I'm talking about when I refer to yin and yang energy, the chakra centers themselves. So I'm going to show you a front view of them. I'm going to show you a side profile showing what they actually look like. And then I'm going to also show you the yin and yang energy and what I'm talking about. So I'll show you this again at the conclusion as well, so you can kind of finalize that in your mind. So there are 7 chakra centers in the body, and in which energy flows through them. They're color-coded, and they hold a vibration. So the word chakra is derived from Sanskrit, meaning wheel. Translated from the Hindi, it means wheel of spinning energy. So chakras are just spinning vortexes of energy. That's all they are. And although most people have heard of the 7 chakras, there are actually 114 in the body. And the human body is a complex energy form. In addition to the 114 chakras, it also has 72,000 energy channels or meridian lines along which vital energy travels or moves through them. So meridian lines. Now you're asking me, what is that? Meridian lines are similar to veins. They carry blood through the system. So it's just the same thing. It carries energy or the chi or the life force energy through the system. It's just another name for a pathway or channel. So a chakra is an energy or energetic wheel or a vortex of energy found in the subtle body. So another name for energy also, and we like titles, is prana or life force. And it circulates through various, again, pathways. That would be your meridian lines. So understanding how chakras function, each chakra has a specific psychological, physical, emotional, and spiritual energetic characteristic. Okay, so let me just show you with these posters that I brought. Everybody is very interested in the posters that I bring, so I thought I would bring some more today. So the chakras, this is what it looks like with a 2-dimensional image, okay? So they're very flat, they're round, cylindrical, and they are color-coded, and their colors hold a vibration. So the root chakra is your base, that's your baseline, and that's red. Your sacral is orange. Your solar plexus are yellow. The heart chakra is green. Why is green? I don't know. I would always thought it was pink. But the throat chakra is blue. The third eye chakra is indigo, and the crown chakra is white. So that is a 2-dimensional image of the chakra centers. So let me show you another one that I think that you will find fascinating. This one represents, believe it or not, a side profile of what your chakras actually look like. So if we were to cut the body in half and show you a side profile, the cone, they're actually cone-shaped, and they come from the back to the front. Okay, so from the back to the front. And they spin continuously. So the energy comes to us from the universe through the back chakras, out the front chakras. Okay, so your receiving receptors are the back side of the chakras. Your giving centers or your giving chakras are the front side. So this I thought was a very fascinating image that I thought you'd find fascinating. All right. So I want to show you the yin and yang that I'm always talking about, so you'll have an idea what it is that I'm doing. So the yin and yang energy, that is this. The yin and yang energy is male and female energy, and that comes from our parents. It comes directly from their heart chakra, believe it or not, to us as children. And you can see from the child's chakra centers down here, they're glowing. So the male, female energy, which is mom and dad, yin and yang, they are sending us, it's love is all they're doing. It's just love that they're sending us. But that energy frequency comes from them to our chakra centers. So there's your yin and yang energy, all right? So I thought you'd find that fascinating. So let me put this back and we'll continue. So that's yin and yang energy coming to us. And whether you're adopted or you live with your parents from birth, it doesn't matter. You can have a surrogate parent, you can have surrogate parents, it doesn't matter who they are. You're getting male, female energy from whoever, even if you're adopted. So let's continue. Each chakra holds specific information on either side of the body. Okay, so let me repeat that. Each chakra holds specific information on either side of the body. So the heart chakra on the left would hold specific information different than the right. The third eye, same thing, would hold specific information in your field now, different than the right. So this is an encoded membrane. So it's like a brain. It's encoded information in here that we've had for years and years and years from birth. So the field of energy around your body is 5 feet wide, left and right, from in front and behind you. And then above you, 2 feet, beneath you, 2 feet. So in that field of energy, there's a lot of information housed. Okay, so let's continue. So I'm going to try to break that down a little bit more for you, especially for those that are new to coming into this. The field of energy around the body has many names. Western civilization loves titles. Biofield, aura, etheric field, and believe it or not, and there are many more, there's 70 different names. There are 70 different names for biofield or aura, and it extends 5 feet, like I said, 5 to 6 feet around the body, front and back as well, and then 2 feet above you, 2 feet beneath your feet. Okay, so let's start with the left side now. I'm going to show you what we actually do with the tuning forks. But I want you to just listen for a second. So this is a 528 hertz. This is what I usually start a session with. Let me tap it a little bit louder. That's a 528 hertz. This is a 417. I only brought a couple with me today with the straight edges. And all that's telling you is this is a 417 hertz. It's moving, the tuning fork is moving 417 times per second. Okay? Just so you have an idea what I'm talking about. 174 times per second. All right, so let's continue. So the left side of the body represents the yin energy. This is your mom. This is feminine energy. This is masculine energy, okay? So we're going to start at the third eye temple on the left side. So if I were working on a person, I would be doing this, combing through the field and listening. And this is deep, considered deep listening. So we travel with the fork from the 5-foot mark through it. This is the journey of life to present day. And then we hover right over the chakra center and call them out. So what we're doing, the tuning forks are clearing and integrating clearer, balanced energy into the field and releasing and removing what the body doesn't need anymore. Okay, so the tuning forks are a wonderful tool, but the body's doing all the work. The tuning forks are just helping the body find its correct frequency. So it's just, it's amazing what this will do. It's auto-correcting. When you use a tuning fork in the field, it's actually getting the body to auto-correct itself and find its right frequency. Pretty cool. Okay, so as we continue, I could go on and on and on. The throat chakra, same thing. If I'm working here at the throat, this represents not speaking up, or not speaking your truth. And as I move through the field, it's going to find anything where you were stuck in life and you just couldn't speak up for yourself, whether you were a little kid or an adult. It's going to still be there. You could be 80 years old. I'm going to find stuff in here. You could be 10 years old. I'm going to find stuff in here, okay? So the throat on the left side represents not speaking up for yourself, not speaking your truth, or being very shy. It also represents someone that was very shy. And what happens is if parents are overbearing, they can shut the child down if they're a little bit over the top. And the child won't speak up for themselves. They're afraid to, sadly. So as we continue, we're going to work on the heart center. The heart, same thing, combing through the field, represents sadness, grief, loss, and depression. So if you've lost a loved one or a friend, you've gone through a major divorce, lost a job, and you just bought a house, and then you lost your job, oh my God, now how am I going to pay the mortgage? That's still sadness and grief, even if it's not death. So sadness, grief, and loss doesn't always represent death, just so that you're clear with that, okay? So as we continue, the solar plexus are next. That's right here. That's yellow. Same thing as we comb through the field. That represents self-esteem, self-worth, powerlessness. So if you had a mom that was kind of challenging and really strong and strong-willed, you know, she may have, and this can happen to many people, made you feel less than adequate. Your self-esteem was maybe low a little bit, or felt a little bit powerless when she was around because she was so strong and domineering. So that can happen too. So that's what the left side represents. Okay, so as we move down, we're now at the sacral, and that's orange. That's right at the belly button. So the sacral represents disappointments, frustrations, even resentments. So again, we're just hovering. It's kind of like mixing paint. We just hang here once we get to this point, and then we call them out straight away. And what we're doing is, at this point, releasing what the body doesn't need. Okay, so the organs in this part of the body, solar plexus, sacral, root, these are called the earthbound chakras, mainly because there's so many organs in this general area. You have your spleen, your stomach, your gallbladder, your liver, your intestines. You have so many organs, major organs in this area. It can lower their vibration so they don't work as efficiently if there's too much static out here. It will actually be counterproductive for your organs. Because believe it or not, we are electric beings. And I think a book that you will find fascinating, let me think of the name, Electric Universe. I think you'll find that fascinating. Tolman, I believe, is the author. There's two authors. And it's a very interesting book. You might want to check that out. Okay, so as we continue, now at the root chakra, that's your bottom, that's your baseline. And as we move through that, these are things that we want to be doing, but we're not. It could be as far out as your childhood. Things you really wanted to do when you were a child and you couldn't do. Maybe mom and dad didn't have enough money. Maybe you missed out. Maybe you weren't quite qualified for something that you were trying out for in school, things you wanted to be doing, so you figured, well, I'm not good enough anyway, so I'm not going to even try out. That's also going to stem from your self-esteem. That's up here. So things like that. But there are things you wanted to be doing and you're not. It also represents unmet needs. Unmet needs. And that can also happen way out here. I worked on a woman about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I found in her field, she was like 2 or 3 years old, an unmet need from when she was in the crib having a bottle. She came from a large family of 4 or 5 children, and when she needed a bottle, sometimes she had to wait a long period of time to get it because mom and dad were busy with the other kids. So, you know, that's an unmet need at a very young age, but you can see where it starts. So that can actually multiply if we have that happen too many times in different locations in our journey. It will definitely start to halt things. So food for thought. The knee, so the knee on the left side, that represents holding on to things that don't serve anymore, holding attachments. You know, some people that don't like change will hold on to things, difficulty with change. Or if you're just holding on to old memories of someone, maybe an old breakup or something, and you're still holding on to whatever it was that you felt was wonderful about the relationship. And even though it's over, you know, holding on to things that just don't serve anymore, it creates static. Eventually it does create a construct, and it can irritate and inflame the knee. So if you end up with knee issues, there's too much stuff that we're holding on to out here in the field, okay? Food for thought. So the next one is foot. That can be your grounding, now your feet represent a lot. Your feet is what brings us through life. They carry us through life every day. And they hold the weight of the body as well. So your grounding can be off, your footing in life, in other words, it can be from a physical injury, but it can also be because there's stuck, you're feeling stuck, wanting to move away from a stressor, but you can't. That can start when you're very young. Let's say that you grew up in a household that was very chaotic. You know, maybe there was a lot of drugging, a lot of drinking, or a lot of yelling, a lot of calamity, chaos, things like that going on. That's going to create a stress in your life, and and you're just a kid. You don't know how to even get away from it, so you don't go to school sometimes, or you go hang out with your buddies, and then you start doing drugs on your own when you're even only 10 years old. So everything, again, starts in our foundation, in our home. Food for thought. So now let me go to the right side. That is the yang energy, okay? That is the male energy. Yang is male energy, and that comes from dad. So if he had mishaps, just like if mom had mishaps, we were having to feel some of her depletions. Same thing with the male yang energy. If he had mishaps or struggles in life, we would feel that impact as we were growing because we're associated with that. So again, we're going to start at the third eye, that's right here. And if we're on the right side of the body, this is just reflecting on your past. You're thinking about your past. Sometimes we kind of hang out there too long and think about the past too much. You don't want to stay there too long. But if another thing too, if something should pop up that you haven't thought about in a very long time, it's trying to tell you, it's trying to show you that it needs to be released and to stop thinking about it and release it. And you have to ask yourself, what did I learn from that? What did I learn from that experience? Even though it was yucky, what did I learn from that experience? Because it's trying to release. That's why it keeps coming up. So something that may come up that you're not used to thinking about and haven't thought of in a long time, you might want to check into that. It's trying to release from your system. Okay, so the throat, we're out here again. And that is not always being heard when you are communicating or when you finally bring yourself to communicate. I mean, all of us struggle with communicating. You know, the human race struggles with communicating. Did I say too much? Did I not say enough? Was it too hard? Was it too coarse? Was I too curt? Things like that. Or should I have said that? Oh my God, maybe I hurt that person's feelings. Sometimes we overthink things. But in any event, speaking on the right side, on the throaty area, is speaking, but you're not always being heard, okay? That's what that represents, not always being heard. So you may have struggles in here from childhood where, again, your parents were a little bit overbearing and you were very shy. That's what the left side represents, either very shy or not speaking for yourself. So the right side is counter of that. Maybe because of that, as you get older, because of the way you were raised, you have difficulty being heard because when you do speak up, either you're very shy when you do speak up or you're not really good at communicating because you never could communicate. The left side was shut down. So food for thought. They do work hand in hand with each other. So we're at the heart. So if I'm at the heart on the right side, that is the emotional caretaker that is overdoing, saying yes when we mean no. Somebody that's had a lot of depletions in their field, especially on the left side in this area. Let me give you a couple of examples so you have something to go home with. Saying yes, but you mean no. A friend calls. You had a really crappy day. And you don't really want to go out. You don't want to do anything tonight. You want to just go home, relax. Friend calls and says, oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long. Let's get together and go out. I haven't seen you. You always make me feel so up. You're like, oh my God, you're on the phone thinking, oh my God, I don't really want to go out. I just had the most grueling day. How do you tell that person no? Generally, you would just say, yeah, okay, let's do that. I'll go out, sure. And you don't really want to go out. That's what I'm telling you. Setting boundaries, saying yes, but you mean no. It's okay to say no once in a while. Find the boundaries and say no politely. Just say, you know what, I just had the worst day. I so appreciate that compliment you just gave me, but I'm pooped. I think I'm going to stay home tonight, if you don't mind. Maybe we can take a rain check and do this again, you know, maybe the end of the week or something. Nobody gets hurt, and you took care of business. You took care of yourself by saying no, you were too tired. It's okay to do that. Okay, so as we move on, solar plexus. That's here again, just below the heart. And that is guilt and shame. And that is at your gallbladder, okay? Your gallbladder holds in this area. Again, one of the organs on the right side, that's guilt and shame. How many people do you know that have had their gallbladder removed? That is because there's a depletion coming to the field of energy from the male side. And it's depleting the gallbladder. The gallbladder is not able to move at a specific frequency, so it's not working effectively, okay? Sacral, so that's the next one down. That's personal relationships, social relationships, or political relationships. So it's all about relationships of some kind. And we don't really need to go into too much detail with that. We kind of know what relationships are all about, whether they're social or political or personal. So they're all about this area anyway. This is orange. All about relationships. And we have a lot of stuck energy in here for sure, all of us. This truly helps release the tension and static build up in here. And then call them straight away. Okay, so the root, we're almost finished. The root chakra is red, and that is representing busyness, overdoing, overthinking things. And that is your groundedness. This is your family. This is how you start life, okay? So this can be disrupted by busyness or overdoing, overthinking things, and can throw the field way off, just the root chakra alone. Okay, so we're gonna go to the knee. And that represents, on the right side again, the yang, challenges, moving forward, confusion, obstacles, also newness, if it's close to the body, new things coming into play, if it's close right here. Okay, so as we get to this part of the body, and then hover over it and pull out, newness. So it could be a new job you just got, or about to get, you interviewed for it, you're thinking about buying a new car, a new home, things like that. Maybe a move, selling a house, new things coming into play. So there may be new things, but there can be obstacles too. So you have to kind of watch what's going on. This will release static tensions and unload it. Very beneficial. The feet, we're back to the feet again. So the right side can be the same as the left. Grounding is off, it's your footing in life. It can also be a physical injury, but it also represents on the right side the next steps, where we're headed and how we feel about it, where we're going and how we feel about it. So that's the right side of the foot, okay? So, looks like we're almost out of time here, so I hope that you found this interesting. It's education, that's what I'm all about. All of my segments are about education, so I hope you enjoy this. But if you're interested in more about these works, go to my website, energyworkstudio.com, for more information, or feel free to contact me anytime, energy4522@gmail.com. So thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. It was wonderful that you were here. Again, until next month, stay tuned, stay connected. Bye for now.